Good morning, students. We are going to discuss the topic of deductions out of total income. This topic will be discussed in 4 to 5 lectures because of it is a very lengthy topic. I am going to start the slide share with you. Deductions out of total income, gross total income. Uh, there are various types of deductions available out of the gross total income. We are going to discuss these with the slides. Now, gross total income and deductions. As per section 80B5, gross total income means the total income computed in accordance with the provisions of this act before making any deduction under chapter 6, that is under section 80. Thus, the aggregate income from all the heads of income after applying the provisions of clubbing of income and set-off of losses is known as gross total income. The total income from all the 5 heads which we have earlier discussed in the last semester, the income from salaries, income from house property, income from business profession, and income from uh, capital gains and income from other sources. All these 5 heads income is clubbed, added up, and clubbing provisions are added to the gross total income, and then set off and carry forward of losses, interhead and intrahead both are done, and then finally it comes the gross total income. Out of gross total income, deductions under section 80C to 80U are allowed. These deductions are different for internal deductions of in different heads of income. We had deductions under the heads. All heads have their own deductions, and these deductions under section 80C to 80U are other than those deductions. Those deductions are uh, internal deductions of the heads. These deductions out of the gross total income. Then some important points regarding deductions under section 80. First, incomes not eligible for claiming deductions under section 80. Short-term capital gains from shares covered under STT. Any income from short-term capital gains of shares covered under STT. Shares covered under STT means the shares on which security transaction tax has been paid. Okay, shares covered under STT. If any short-term capital gain arise from these types of shares, that income is not available for deductions under section 80. Then long-term capital gain, this income is also not available for deductions under section 80. If you had these 2 types of income, then casual income and then incomes referred in under section 115A, 15AB, 15AC, 15AD, 15BBA, and 15D, 115D. All these types of incomes are not available for deductions under section 80. Then maximum limit on various deductions under section 80. Total deductions under section 80 shall not exceed the income excluding total deduction under section 80 shall not exceed the income excluding the income not eligible for deductions. The above income, these 4 types of incomes are not available for deduction, and these 4 incomes are excluded, and the remaining income is available for deductions. Then no deduction to members if claimed by AOP BOI when AOP BOI claims deduction under section 80G, 80GGA, GGC, 80IE, IA, IB, IC, ID, and IE. Then same deduction is allowed to not allowed to members of AOP. There is some misprint. Not allowed to members of AOP if deduction is claimed by AOP and BOI, then members cannot claim the same deduction. Deduction to be allowed with reference to the income included in the gross total income. deduction is allowed with reference to the income included in gross total income. If the income is included in gross total income, then deduction is allowed. Okay, any income which is not included, then deduction related to that income is not allowed. Timely filing of return for claiming certain deduction with effect from assessment year 1920. Deductions under section 80 IA to 80 RRB shall be allowed only if return is filed on or before the due date prescribed under section 139(1). Onus to claim deduction is on assessee. Any deduction, if claimed by assessee, he should have the proofs of that deduction. The onus to claim deduction is on assessee. It is the assessee who can claim and who have to give the information about these deduction. No double deduction is allowed. No double deduction is allowed. Sorry, there is a
सर ओनस क्यों होंदा?
ओनस यानी प्रूफ करना. Yes, deduction under section 80. Deductions under section 80 are divided under two categories. A part, deduction in respect of certain payments. If payments are made by the assessee for certain type of transactions, then these deductions are available. These are available. These are under section 80C to 80 DGC, and deduction in respect of certain incomes, section 80 IA to 80 U. Then deductions in respect of certain payments, section 80C to 80 GGC. A1, first part करने जा रहे हैं अपन. Deductions regarding approved savings in provident fund, life insurance premium extra, section 80C. We had earlier discussed it in the salaries chapter, in the last lecture of salary chapter. Now we have to discuss here. To encourage savings among the assessee, deductions for saving out of gross total income has been allowed. The deduction is allowed to individual and a Hindu undivided family. Only two types of persons can claim this deduction: individual and HUF. AOP firm company cannot claim this deduction because they are the business firms. They cannot opt for savings deduction. Total amount of deduction shall be total amount of savings or rupees 1,50,000, whichever is less. Then it means maximum amount of deduction is 1,50,000. If you have savings more than 1,50,000, you are allowed 1,50,000. If you have savings less than 1,50,000, you are allowed up to the amount of savings. This limit of 1,50,000 has also included the amount of deduction under section 80CCC to 80 and 80CCD. These two sections are also covered under this amount. If you have deduction to claim under section 80CCC and 80CCD, this then total limit cannot be more than 1,50,000 of the all of these three deductions. Deduction under section 80C out of gross total income. A qualifying amount for deduction under section 80C. Qualifying amounts. What are the contribution? What are the saving parameters which are allowed to qualify for deductions under section 80C? First, employee or assessee. There are 23 parameters which are allowed. 23 types of savings which are allowed. Employees or assessees own contribution to provident fund. Any contribution made to the provident fund. Provident funds are of different types. If the provident fund is SPF, that is statutory provident fund, fully qualifies. Employees contribution fully qualifies. And if RPF fully qualifies, if PPF, it also again fully qualifies. Account can be in the name of self, spouse or any child. Account उसे अपने नाम पे हो सकता है, spouse के नाम पे हो सकता है, child के नाम पे हो सकता है. If URPF, it does not qualify. Any amount contributed by employee towards approved superannuation fund fully qualifies. Then life insurance premium paid by employee or by employer to assure the life of employee, his spouse or children, minor or major, married or unmarried, shall qualify up to actual premium paid or 20% of sum assured. Actual premium paid or 20% of sum assured. If the actual premium paid is 20,000 and the life policy is of 80,000, then it is allowed up to maximum of 16,000, because 20% of the premium is 20% of the life assured is 16,000. Then this limit has been changed from for the policies on or after 1st April 2012. 10% of the actual capital sum assured for policies issued on or after 1st April 2012. Now it is up to maximum of 10% of the policy assured if the policy is issued after 1st April 2012. ठीक है, otherwise earlier policies can if the policy is issued earlier to this date, then it can be 20% of the sum assured. Then sum assured shall not include bonus or any premium agreed to be returned. Sum assured means the amount of policy which are issued mentioned in the policy document. If on the maturity there is a bonus, it cannot be included in that part. For a person suffering from disability or disease, the premium shall qualify up to 15% of the capital sum assured if the policy is issued on or after 1st April 13. Then there is a further change. The deduction is claimed by a person with disability or disease is up to 15% of capital sum assured if policy is on or after 1st April 13. That means from 1st April 12 to 31st March 12, the disabled person can claim only 10% if policy is issued between during the year 12-13. Then amount deposited in Sukanya Samriddhi account, this you can save money in this account also. It can be qualified for ATC. Any amount deducted from the gross from the salary payable on or behalf of the government to any individual in accordance with the conditions of his service for the purpose of securing him a deferred annuity or making provision for his spouse or children, insofar as the sum so deducted does not exceed 1/5 of salary. Up to 1/5 of salary, this type of contribution is also qualified for Section 80C. Any amount contributed to keep in force a contract for a deferred annuity not being an annuity plan referred to in clause 12, the person on whose name savings can be made are in the case of an individual, the wife or husband, and any child of such individual. Such contract does not contain a provision for the exercise by the insured of an option to receive a cash payment in lieu of payment of the annuity. The annuity here means annual payments are made after the retirement or in case of death of the person to the family. Okay? If there is a deferred annuity provision, any sum contributed towards this is claimable as deduction. Any amount deducted by employer government out of employee's salary under group insurance scheme fully qualifies. If there is a group insurance scheme by the employer, then that amount also qualify for deduction under Section 80C. Any amount invested by an individual or HUF with UTI or LIC under unit linked insurance plan ULIP fully qualifies. Any amount invested in NSC 8th issue fully qualifies. Interest accrued on NSC 8th and 9th issue purchase earlier is deemed to be reinvested, hence fully qualifies. NSC, the interest on NSC has been cumulated in the NSC document, and on maturity the full amount of interest is given, and so it is assumed at reinvested and reinvested in the NSC, and so the interest so credited to the account has been fully qualified for Section 80C. Any amount deposited under notified deposit scheme 92 fully qualifies. Then any amount paid to LIC under New Jeevan Dhara or New Jeevan Akshay, New Jeevan Akshay 1, uh, New Jeevan Akshay 2 plans fully qualify. These are the different types of plans in which amount contributed also fully qualifies. Then any amount deposited with mutual fund under a scheme of pension fund, that is UTI retirement pension fund, shall fully qualifies. Any amount deposited with National Bank under home deposit scheme of National Housing Bank fully qualifies. Home deposit scheme here means if you want to buy a house in future and you open the account in the name of home deposit scheme of the National Housing Bank, then any contribution towards this fund is fully qualifies. And any amount deposited with an authority engaged in housing development or town and rural development fully qualifies. Then any amount deposited with the housing finance institution also fully qualifies. Then any amount repaid under house building loan taken from government, LIC, bank, HDFC, HUDCO or other housing finance institutions or employers, not from friends or relatives. Friends or relatives ਨੂੰ छोड़ के अगर ਤੁਸੀਂ any अपने बैंक्स वगैरह तो या फाइनेंसिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन तो हाउसिंग वास्ते हाउसिंग लोन लिया है ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੀ रीपेमेंट ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ क्वालिफाई करेगी. Or amount repaid as full price or installment of price of a house purchased from government or an approved agency shall qualifies up to actual amount repaid shall qualify for deduction under section 80C. The amount repaid must not include interest. For interest you can claim deduction under section 24(1) in the head of income from house property on loan or ground rent, but shall include stamp duty and registration charges. Interest is not included. Then 18th point, any amount paid as tuition fees, excluding any payment towards any development fees or donation or payment of similar nature, whether at the time of admission or thereafter, to tuition fees to any school, college or university or other educational institutions situated in India for the purpose of full-time education of any two children of the individual. The amount which shall qualify under this section shall not exceed actual amount paid as tuition fees of two children only. Then amount paid as subscription to equity shares or debentures of any eligible issue. In case such issue is notified by CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, the amount invested shall qualify for deduction under section 80C. The amount so invested in on which deduction is claimed shall not qualify for exemption of capital gains under section 54EA or 54EB or 54EC. If you claim deduction under section 80C, you cannot claim these exemptions. Amount paid as subscription to any units of any mutual fund. In case such unit scheme of mutual fund is notified by CBDT, the amount so invested shall qualify for deduction under section 80C. The amount so invested is in on which deduction is claimed shall not qualify for exemptions under section 54EA, EB or EC. The shares, debentures or units acquired under 18 and 19 above 18 and 19 point earlier discussed in this lecture. The shares, debentures or units acquired under 18 and 19 above cannot be converted into money for 3 years. There is a lock-in period of 3 years. In case such units or shares are converted into money before the expiry of 3 years, the amount of rebate claimed shall become as tax payable of the year in which these are sold or otherwise. If these are sold out within the lock-in period, then the amount of gain and amount so received from the sale of these items is known as the income of that year, is counted as the income of that year. The term deposit with scheduled bank for a duration of at least 5 years as per the scheme framed by central government. 5-year fixed deposit is also claimed as deduction under section 80C. Investment in notified bonds issued by NABARD National Agriculture and Rural Development Bank, will also qualify for deduction under Section 80C. Then deposit in post office time deposit rules and senior citizen savings scheme rules can also be claimed as deductions 80C. Any amount of contribution made by an employee of central government to his national pension system shall qualify for deduction under Section 80C. Such contribution has been made for not less than 3 years, and this uh, pension system is notified under Section 80CCD. Okay, these are the qualifying amounts for deduction under Section 80C up to maximum limit of 1,50,000. Then we have an illustration related to this. From the following particulars of Mr. X, compute the amount of deduction under Section 80C for the previous year 1920. Life insurance premium paid on policy. अपनी पॉलिसी पे उन्हें लाइफ इंश्योरेंस प्रीमियम पे किया है, it qualifies for deduction. On life of wife it qualifies for deduction. On the life of father is not qualified for deduction. On the life of married daughter and her husband joint policy, it is joint policy, you can claim the premium paid for married daughter, but as her husband is also included in this policy, so this deduction cannot be claimed. Life policies were taken in 2010. Life policies taken in 2010. Then contribution of recognized provident fund 2,000 per month. It fully qualifies. Deposit in public provident fund. It fully qualifies. Group insurance premium fully qualifies. Investment made during 1920 in NSE 8th issue out of agricultural income. It fully qualifies. Repayment of loan taken from LIC for the construction of residential house 4,000 per month, including 1,000 per month as interest. Total payment is 48,000, but out of that 1,000 is 1,000 per month is interest, 12,000 is interest. Then the deduction can be claimed up to 36,000. Accrued interest on NSE 8th issue assumed as reinvested 4,000 fully qualified for deduction. Then insurance premium on life of minor son paid on 2nd April 2020. Our previous year is 1st April 19 to 31st March 20. It is paid after that, so it cannot be claimed as deduction. The solution for this example: life insurance premium paid during the previous year 1920, 30,000 on life of. Then on the life of wife 10,000. On the life of father does not qualify. On the joint life policy of daughter and her husband does not qualify. Contribution to recognized provident fund fully qualifies. Deposit in public provident fund qualifies. Group insurance premium qualifies. Investment made in NSC qualifies. Repayment of loan 36,000 qualifies. 1,000 per month interest not qualifies. Accrued interest on NSE 8th issue fully qualifies. Total qualifying savings are 1,62,000. Now the maximum deduction is available up to 1,50,000. Total savings or 1,50,000, whichever is less is claimable as deduction under Section 80C. Notes: first, life insurance premium paid on the life of married daughters qualifies for deduction, but in case of joint policy with husband will not qualify for deduction. Then investment made in NSE 8th issue out of income from agriculture will qualify for deduction. Interest on loan from LIC or house for house does not qualify for. Interest on loan does not qualify for deduction under Section 80C. The interest is allowed as deduction under Section 24 while calculating the house property income. Insurance premium due but not paid up to 31st March does not qualify for deduction. It will qualify in the next assessment year. When it is paid, it can be claimed as deduction. Insurance premium paid on life policy of father also not qualify for deduction. Then next deduction is deduction in respect of contribution to pension fund. Section 80CCC. Any amount paid out of income of current year or past years by an individual to LIC or any other insurer to affect a contract of annuity or pension out of a fund Maximum deduction is amount paid or 1,50,000, whichever is less. Any amount received by assessee or his nominee under this scheme as pension or withdrawn by surrender, full in part or in part, is taxable in the year of such receipts. If amount is withdrawn from this fund, that is taxable in the year in which this is withdrawn. It may be in the form of monthly pension, or it may be in the form of lump sum when it is surrendered. That amount is fully qualified for deduction under section 80C. Thank you for that today's lecture. We have discussed two deductions: deduction under section 80C for savings and 80CCC for contribution to pension fund. For reference, you may go to the book of Kalyani Publisher, Direct Tax Law, P.P. Gores, G. Puri and Pooja Gai. You can see your material from there.